Hey guys, it's Epic Underworlds. Today I'm be showing you a new archetype and a new set. So, the core set 2023, as you could see from the last video, I completely finished that set. So now I'm getting on to an expansion pack for the game. This is going to be a 60, maybe 660 plus card expansion pack for the game. And it's basically going to be a add-on to the core set. It'll add some really awesome and new powerful abilities. It adds a new keyword, new archetypes, and it just makes the game a lot more fun and unlocks so many more combos. We've made so many fun decks now, and the possibilities are endless. And you guys can use these cards in the core set, or you guys can use them in the tournament too. So I'm going to be starting off with a very simple Icicle archetype. I know these guys look kind of simple, but I was kind of trying for a simpler design because I just thought it'd be cool. They're basically icicles. People said they looked like PVC creatures, which I don't really know what those are, but I guess that's cool. So yeah, first we got Icicle Archer, and you can see it's the new Frozen War expansion. It's got the new color, and it says it down here. This is card number 3. It's going to be a 1/3, which is decent stats. Not really on the attack side, but you can combo this really well with like cards like Alliance and stuff, because each time you draw a card, whilst this card is in play, do 1 damage to target creature. So if you play Alliance, which basically says both players draw 2 cards, you can do 2 damage to up to 2 of your opponent's creatures, which is extremely powerful and fun to use. Icicle Lawyer, this is one of the best cards in the archetype. It's a rare, so you can only have 1 copy per deck. But once per turn, whilst there is another Icicle creature in play, you may draw 1 card, but then you must discard 1 card from your hand. So this kind of buffs Icicle Archer, because it can draw 1 card, and it's also just good for draw support. And I know I use the word whilst. I got that from Chaos Galaxy because it's just a really good way to save space on a card. So thank you, Chaos Galaxy, for that idea. Icicle Overlord. This is kind of like the boss of the archetype. It's a rare 5/5, really good stats. When played, give target creature Frostbite, and this card isn't affected by Frostbite. Frostbite is basically at the start. Basically, if a creature has Frostbite at the end of your turn that you like affected a creature with, like Icicle Overlord would affect, I don't know, like maybe a dragon. And Frostbite, at the end of your turn, that card would lose a life, and at the start of your opponent's turn, that card would lose a life, and you do it again and again and again until they're dead. So it's a very good withering effect. Icicle Rain, just do 3 damage to target creature for only 3 points. A pretty competitive card now. Icicle Staff, search your deck for an Icicle creature card and add it to your hand. Extremely powerful. Just because the Icicles aren't too powerful, that is why this card is kind of needed to make them a stronger deck. And then we got Icicle Warrior. Basically, whenever you draw a card, this card gains 1 attack. You can get this guy up pretty fast. I mean, he's a 1/3 for only 4 points, so just off the bat, that's pretty good. Then the fact that you can add a bunch of attack makes it even better. So a lot of cheap cards in this archetype that you could build like a good deck and add still a bunch of really good cards. I'm going to be showing a few other cards. We got the planet Icicle. This is a terrain card. This is from my Shogun universe, sector of the PCG universe when I did those PCG kind of things. And now I'm adding them into my card game because technically they were already in there. But yeah, so it's kind of like a more lore and backstory. It's basically an ice planet, kind of like Pelisium from Chaos Galaxy, except this one is in the PCG universe, and it's like instead of icebergs, it has like really dense clouds that act as islands almost. So I hope that kind of makes sense. Yeah, but it's a very different atmosphere. Once per turn, if you have 0 creatures in play, at the end of your turn, gain 1 point. This is a really good card if you're just losing the game and you can't get any creatures out, or your opponent keeps killing them all. Just play this, and it's just a good backup card. Jelly Schloob. When played, draw 2 cards if your opponent has 10 or more points. Very rare that you would be able to use this ability, but when you can, it's extremely good. Launch Time. Really good card. I absolutely love this card when I'm playing against the Shank tank, because you can have 10 copies of the Shankfish in that deck. So this card says if your opponent has 2 copies of the same card currently in play, destroy both of them, which it is super fun to use and just really rewarding. And I kind of like the artwork. As you can notice, Tasmi, although this one has 2 eyes, but Tasmi is kind of like a card from set 1, and he's going to appear in quite a few artworks. Then we got Merciless Yeti, one of my personal favorites. He's a 3/5, rare, 12 points. Your opponent must kill this card before they can kill any of your other creatures in play. and it has the ability Bleed, which basically means if it attacks a creature and it has higher attack than its life, when it killed, you get to gain 1 point, so pretty good. Last card I'm going to be showing you guys is a terrain card. No combat cards can be played, and it is Mount Tella, which takes place on the planet Gondo. It's 16 points, which is pretty expensive. I probably would have lowered it a little if I was going to make it a very competitive card, but you got to have some flunk-ish cards in play. I still see people use this card, just it is hard to put in your deck when it's 16 points. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next Epic Underworlds video. Let me know what you thought of this archetype. Oops, I kind of sneak peeked 2 new cards. But let me know what you guys think of this archetype, and I'll see you in the next Epic Underworlds video.